Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? I'm coming at you with a... Sorry, I had to rub my hand. I'm cold. Coming at you today with a custom fixed blade I just made. This was going to be something that I sent off to a buddy of mine to put handles on. But as it was sitting here finished, the blade that is, had the blade part of it finished. I had an old block of some vintage micarta, vintage linen micarta, which is what's on it. And I was just like, you know what? Instead of putting wood on it, let's go ahead and put some of that old vintage micarta on there. And look how that handle turned out, man. Just a beautiful, nice contoured palm swell. I mean, this turned out great. I used like a neon yellow G10 liners for the handles, or underneath them, because I wanted to put a little bit of pop on there. I did make it to where the tang is tapered towards the rear, so it gets thinner this way as you get down towards the bottom, and then it gets thinner down towards the top as well. It is acid washed, or acid and brass washed, to give it that cool little gold hues on those specks right there. You just wash it with some brass instead of stones. So you basically stone wash it, but with pieces of brass. The handles, I was gonna take them up to like a polish, because polished micarta looks kind of cool, especially linen micarta. You get all these little ridges that kind of turn polished looking. But I think I kind of like this look right here. This is just I think this is a 200 grit I went up to. I ended up taking one of my belts, a worn out belt. So it's probably a little bit more than 200 grit actually. I took a worn out belt from my belt grinder, cut it in half, and then used that as kind of like a long piece, so I could go wrap around the handle and create that contoured look. I did this contouring this way on the belt grinder, but I did the contouring this way by hand. I just put it in a vise, and I put a glove around the blade, a big leather glove, and then tighten the vise down, and then I just went around it this way with the belt. Pretty cool. Turned out pretty nice. Unfortunately, I acid washed it. You know, I don't know what to do here. I acid washed it, and then I put the handles on, because you can't acid wash it with the handles on there, right? So when I took it to get the handles level on the disc grinder, it took off some of that. This acid wash. So I was thinking maybe I can mask this off here, the handles, and then apply the acid with a Q-tip. I think that might work. I just won't be able to get the specks into it unless I do it by hand, by tapping it or something. But we'll see how that works. It may not even be an issue, honestly. I mean, who cares? I mean, it's the handle part, right? You can't really tell. Anyway, I guess that's really up to whoever wants it. It's unsharpened right now. I haven't sharpened it yet. I do all my sharpening by hand. It looks like this side is, because I did a small test pass to test if the edge right here was level. Sometimes you'll get like kind of like a wave in it after you make a knife, and so I just wanted to test it, and it was fine. So everything turned out pretty straight. It's got a nice, it's not too thin but not too thick either right here behind the edge. By the time I sharpen it, it'll probably be around like 20 thousandths, 25 thousandths, which is decent for a fixed blade. It's got a lanyard hole here, but the liner, the G10 liner is still in the way, so I just have to run a drill bit through that to open it up for the liner hole access. It's there in the metal. It's there in the steel, just not through the liners. Or I might just leave it like that. It looks kind of cool. I don't know. Because it's not really super small. It doesn't need a lanyard, but a lot of people like to put lanyards on stuff. Let me see. I don't think I actually ever measured this yet. Or maybe I did when I was making it, and I just forgot. So it's dead nut 7.5 inches. Dead nut 7.5 inches with a blade length of almost 3.5 inches, or about almost 9 centimeters. And 7.5 inches, and metric is 19 centimeters. So 19 centimeters overall, or 7.5. My buddy came up with a name for this called the 4TP, which stands for Tonto Point Tapered Tang. It's pretty cool he came up with that, man. That was awesome. I had to praise him for that. It's awesome. So we got the Tonto, a Eastern style Tonto with the tapered tang, and he just nailed that name for it. So yeah, I think he'll like it, aside from the fact that I told him I was going to send it to him for him to put some wood handles on it. But I have another knife I'm going to send to him, and I also bought one for him as a gift. So I think he'll be all right with that. If you're watching this, sorry, buddy. I wanted to use this micarta. I bought it on Etsy a while ago, and I just wanted to use it. I actually had 2 other blocks of it, and one of them got ruined with a failed project. I tried my hand at making some like little fidget blocks, like a worry stone, and it just didn't sit well with the rest of the materials that I was trying to mix with it. I wanted to do like a half resin, half micarta, and it just didn't sit well. I need a vacuum chamber to make it proper. So I know what to do next time. So I'm gonna see if that guy still has some of this micarta and get some from him. It's just micarta has gone way up. Ever since this renaissance of knife making has came back, micarta used to be fairly cheap to get, but now it's definitely not. So it's rare when you find people who have some. They'll have like some new old stock, and they'll sell it at decent prices. And that's what I found. I found a guy, and he had these gigantic. Well, I say gigantic. They're about 8 inches by 1 inch by 2 inches. So they're not gigantic, but it's pretty big for what you pay for it. I only paid like I think $12 or $10 each. So I got 3 blocks for like $28. He gave me a little discount for getting 3 of them. So that was a good deal, but I'm all out of it now. And the other one I sent to a friend. So he got that block. 1 block got ruined, and then this block got used for this knife. It's crazy, like out of all that material, this is all that's left. But yeah, I just want to get your guys' opinions on it, see what you thought about it. It's one of the it's probably the most complete knife that I've made in a while. I normally do like minimalistic stuff, like no handles, or the design is for it to be a skeletonized knife, like this one right here. This is a little hamaguri ground, or a convex ground puko style blade that was made from an old file. It is sharp, it's ridiculously sharp. That's why I love zero edges. They just get so damn sharp. And I put a little bow drill attachment in there, and how you would use that is, since it's got a sharp edge, you would put the sheath on halfway, and you grab it like this, and that's where you would put your bow drill piece, and then you can pull your string back and forth, and that will help you hold the bow drill attachment. I mean, hold the whole apparatus while you're using a bow drill. This leather sheath was made from an old work boot that I had for years and years, and I had some pretty good quality leather on it. It's not super stiff, so like I didn't have to do anything else to it to get it to loosen up. And I figured, you know what, let's use that. And I went ahead and used some old waxed string for stitching together canvas to stitch it together. I am not a good sheath maker by any means, so please forgive my crudeness on this, but I thought it fit well with the aesthetic. This is the one that I'm going to give to him, the friend I was talking about, and I hope he enjoys it. If he puts handles on it, that'd be really cool. It doesn't really need it, but if he does, I hope he leaves a section out here so he can still get to the bow drill piece. essentially you have to have this here because you have to hold it like this for your bow drill. So you have to have this sheath on it while you're using it. So yeah, I made that one, and I made this one, and I have a few others in the back that aren't quite finished. And weirdly enough, I have a large fixed blade. It's probably 15 or 16 inches long with the handle, and somehow it mysteriously disappeared in thin air. Don't know how it happened, don't know where it went. Project wasn't even finished yet, but I can't find it, and I need to use it, or I need to get to it so I can finish it. This is another one that I made a while back. This is just a wrench. That's an old Martin wrench, USA Martin wrench, and I made a left-hand Kiridashi out of it because I'm lefty. And I think he would appreciate this too, because sometimes when you're carving, he likes to carve a lot. When you're carving, you can't always get to the stuff you want to get to with your dominant hand. So if you can flip over and do a left-hand cut, it's always nice to have both sides. Like, even though I'm a lefty, I have carving stuff for left and right. Like, I have a spoon carver that's sharp on both sides, just in case I have to come at it from the other side. So these two here were kind of made in this similar fashion with like minimalistic stuff. And then this one I wanted to do handles and such. I made this too a while back. I made this out of necessity. I used it as like a small little pry bar, but I ended up using it as a tool to pop lids off of like stains and stuff like that. I don't know what kind of steel it is. The reason I ended up using it for this is because it doesn't harden. So whatever it is, it doesn't like to harden well. I cut a piece. It was a really long square stock piece like this, and I cut it and I heat treated it. Well, let's say I tried to heat treat it. I brought the forge up to temperature, a hold temperature like you would hold 1080 or 1095. I quenched it properly in oil, and it just would not harden. So I was like, you know what? This will be a good piece for making something to pry with or something like that. So it also works good as a little mini splitter. I got lots of pieces of this wood. I think it's apple wood or cherry wood. Anyway, I use it for my grill. And so they're only about this big around, and sometimes I'll use this and I'll pound it in there with my pliers. With the long handles, I got these long lineman pliers that have long handles, and you can use it like a hammer. And I'll use that, and I will split the wood for the grill, or the smoker, I mean. So yeah, that's it. I wanted to see what you guys thought about the 4TP. That's its official name. I really wish I had some G10 pins for this, but they turned out really good. You cannot feel them whatsoever. You can run your fingernail over it and you won't even hit it. They turned out really, really good. They're very flush. I didn't peen them. You don't have to, especially because you're gonna sand it off anyway. The main reason for having pins with handles is so you don't get any movement this way. So once you apply the epoxy, you want to just have something that can hold it in place. You don't really have to peen these like a slip joint. Well, let me know what you guys think. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I think I got another topic I want to talk about today. I might do that in another video. So y'all guys have a great day. Thank you.